G'day kids, it's Dr. Sandro here. Well, it's springtime, which is one of my favourite times to be in the garden. The sun is out, the weather's getting warmer, and so all the plants are coming alive and growing really, really quickly. Now, if like me, you don't have a big backyard or a garden, I live in an apartment, just have a small balcony, I'm going to show you a really fun activity for springtime, which you can do in a really small pot, even on a windowsill if you don't have an outdoor space at all. Now, it's called cutting growing. So it's basically growing a plant from an existing plant. We're going to grow little mini versions of the plants in front of us. It will take a few weeks to grow, and it does involve an adult to give you a hand with a few elements. So you're going to need a plant that you're going to grow from. You're going to need a pair of scissors. Be careful with those. You're going to need a magic stick to make the holes in the soil. You're going to need a glass of water or a cup of water here, and you're going to need a pot of potting mix. Now, this is just normal potting mix or soil from the garden is perfectly fine too. Make sure that there are some drainage holes in the bottom. Now, we've got two really common plants here that are great for growing from cuttings. The first is rosemary, which is a beautiful herb that you use in cooking. It's great in roasted potatoes or on top of a pizza. Really great if you want to make some roasted chicken or lamb, okay? And it's a really easy one to grow from cutting. The other one here is what's called the devil's ivy. Now, despite the scary name, it's a great plant for growing inside, and it's really easy to grow also from a little snipping. So I'm going to show you how to do it. First of all, you're going to need a sharp pair of scissors. So this is where you want to get an adult to help you out. And you want to find a nice long stem somewhere, okay? And you're going to make a little snip with your scissors just above one of the leaves. And then you're going to end up with a little stick like that, okay? Now, you're going to take off the excess leaves, so we'll take off any leaves you don't need. You've got an extra leaf there. We'll take that one off. And you end up with a nice long stick ready to go into the water. And then you pop that into your glass of water, or your cup of water. Just make sure it's sitting upright. And pop it somewhere, not in direct sun, but in a space on a windowsill, somewhere where it's nice and warm, and it's going to get some sunshine over the next couple of weeks. And we're going to leave that for about 3 weeks, okay? And it will start to grow roots at the bottom. Now, if you want to do it, that's the devil's ivy. If you want to do it with rosemary, it's really similar. We want to take cutting a little bit of the woody, darker wood, okay? Snip out the top and take off some of the lower leaves. So you end up with a nice stripped piece at the bottom there, and pop that into the water as well. We're going to leave these now for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll come back and I'll show you in a second what to do. All right, so here it is a few weeks later, and you'll see here that on the bottom of the devil's ivy cutting that we took, you can actually start to see the roots coming out, okay? And that's great. It means that the plant is now ready to be planted into its own pot and begin its life in soil from the water. So the water is really to allow it to establish, grow some roots. Now it can go into the soil. You've got a pot of soil here. It's just a good quality potting mix. Got some drainage at the bottom and something to catch the water as you water it. And you're going to use this stick here, this magic stick, to make a hole in the soil so that we don't damage the roots as we pop it in. Make it nice and deep, and then in goes the devil's ivy, and it's as easy as that. And then we'll just give this a water and leave that again for about 3 to 4 weeks, and you'll start to see little shoots come out. Keep the water up to it, okay? Water it probably every 2 to 3 days. Give it a good water, let it drain completely. And in about 6 months, you'll have another devil's ivy plant to pop somewhere, maybe in your bedroom, in the kitchen, or even better, it might be ready in time for Christmas for a gift for someone in your household. So get busy gardening. It's really fun to grow plants. It's free, it's really simple. It just takes a bit of water and a bit of patience, and you can take one plant and turn it into many. Happy gardening, guys.